The Los Angeles Lakers have emerged as one of the most attractive destinations for NBA big men, and a major reason is the presence of superstar guard LUKA DONCIC. According to recent reports from ESPN's Tim McMahon, center prospects across the league are enthusiastic about the possibility of joining the Lakers to play alongside the Slovenian playmaker. This development highlights how Doncic's unique skill set makes him an ideal partner for traditional big men looking to maximize their impact on the court. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Doncic stands among the elite creators and facilitators in NBA history, possessing a rare combination of scoring prowess and playmaking vision that sets him apart from most players. His ability to manipulate defenses and create opportunities for teammates has become legendary throughout the league. When Doncic has the basketball in his hands, opposing teams must commit significant defensive resources to contain him, which naturally opens up passing lanes and scoring opportunities for his teammates, particularly those playing in the front court. The Lakers guard has demonstrated exceptional chemistry with big men throughout his career, showing an innate understanding of how to utilize their size and athleticism. His court vision allows him to deliver precise passes that put centers and power forwards in position to succeed. Whether executing pick-and-roll plays, throwing alley-oop passes, or finding open players cutting to the basket, Doncic consistently elevates the performance of the big men around him. This makes him an extremely valuable teammate for any center looking to showcase their abilities. One example of this synergy can be seen with Jackson Hayes, who has thrived since being paired with Doncic in the Lakers lineup. Hayes has looked like a legitimate NBA caliber center when playing alongside the all-star guard, benefiting from the numerous scoring opportunities created by Doncic's offensive wizardry. The chemistry between the two players has become so strong that Hayes has expressed interest in representing Slovenia on their national team, specifically because he wants to continue playing with Doncic on the international stage. According to McMahon's reporting, agents representing big men throughout the league recognize this dynamic and view the Lakers as an ideal landing spot for their clients. One agent specifically mentioned that his client, a big man who may be available via trade or free agency, would be thrilled at the opportunity to wear the Lakers uniform while playing alongside Doncic. The combination of the Lakers' prestigious franchise history and Doncic's playmaking abilities creates a compelling package for players seeking both individual success and team accomplishments. The Lakers represent more than just another NBA team. Playing in Los Angeles means exposure on the biggest stage in basketball, with numerous nationally televised games and constant media coverage. For big men hoping to earn lucrative contracts, this visibility can be invaluable. Strong statistical performances in Lakers games receive maximum attention from other teams and their decision makers, potentially leading to more substantial contract offers during free agency periods. While raw numbers alone do not guarantee success, they remain an important negotiating tool for agents representing their clients in contract discussions. Currently, the Lakers roster features DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes as their primary centers. Both players have provided solid contributions throughout the season, delivering respectable performances on both ends of the floor. However, the franchise could still benefit from upgrading the center position if the right opportunity presents itself. Whether such a move materializes at this season's trade deadline remains uncertain, but the center market during the upcoming summer will definitely warrant close attention from Lakers management and fans alike. Head coach JJ Redick, who briefly played alongside Doncic during his time with the Dallas Mavericks, understands what makes the superstar guard effective. Redick has emphasized the importance of allowing Doncic creative freedom on the basketball court, recognizing that the Slovenian star thrives when given the liberty to read defenses and make spontaneous decisions. This coaching philosophy should help maximize both Doncic's individual performance and the effectiveness of his teammates, particularly the big men who benefit most from his playmaking abilities. The Lakers coaching staff appears committed to building an offensive system that highlights Doncic's strengths while putting role players in positions where they can succeed and contribute to winning basketball. The attraction that big men feel toward playing with Doncic speaks volumes about his reputation around the league as a teammate who elevates those around him. His consistent excellence and unselfish style of play make him one of the most respected players in professional basketball. big men recognize that playing alongside Doncic offers them the best possible opportunity to showcase their talents while competing for championships. This combination of individual development and team success represents exactly what players seek when evaluating potential destinations during free agency or trade scenarios. The Lakers appear well positioned to capitalize on this dynamic moving forward, potentially adding impact players to strengthen their roster around their superstar guard. Los Angeles Lakers forward Rui Hachimura has undergone a significant transition during the current NBA season, shifting from his role as a consistent starter to becoming the team's primary sixth man. This type of change can prove challenging for professional athletes, potentially creating friction between players and coaching staff. However, Hachimura has handled the adjustment with maturity and professionalism, embracing his new responsibilities while maintaining his effectiveness on the basketball court. His positive attitude has earned praise from head coach REDICK and represents an important development for the Lakers as they navigate through the season. Throughout most of the campaign, Hachimura operated as a fixture in the starting lineup, beginning 27 of the 35 games he appeared in before the role change. The move to the bench represents a dramatic shift in responsibilities and expectations. When such transitions occur in professional sports, players must make a choice about how they respond. Some athletes struggle with reduced starting status and allow it to negatively impact their performance or team chemistry. Others find ways to adapt and discover new ways to contribute. Fortunately for the Lakers, Hachimura has chosen the latter path, demonstrating the mental toughness and team-first mentality that coaches value. Following a strong performance against the Chicago Bulls, where Hachimura delivered 23 points on exceptional shooting efficiency, the 27-year-old forward addressed his new role with reporters. When asked about the difference between starting and coming off the bench, Hachimura emphasized that his approach remains fundamentally the same regardless of when he enters games. The Gonzaga product explained that playing with the second unit actually provides certain advantages, particularly in terms of offensive opportunities and touches with the basketball. Hachimura elaborated on how the bench role allows him to be more aggressive offensively. When he checks into games with the reserve unit, he naturally becomes a focal point of the offense, receiving more chances to score and create plays. This increased involvement suits his skill set well, as he possesses the versatility to score from multiple areas on the floor. Against Chicago, Hachimura showcased this offensive capability by converting 9 of 11 field goal attempts while making 4 of 5 three-point shots, demonstrating the efficiency that makes him valuable regardless of whether he starts or comes off the bench. The statistical production Hachimura has maintained while coming off the bench tells an encouraging story. Over 8 games in his new role, he averages 11.5 points and 2.9 rebounds while shooting 47.4% from the field and 42.1% from beyond the three-point arc. Although these numbers represent slight decreases compared to his statistics as a starter, context matters significantly. Hachimura achieves this production in just 23.7 minutes per game, substantially fewer than the 32.5 minutes he averaged when starting. This efficiency demonstrates his ability to maximize his impact during the time he spends on the court, which represents exactly what coaches want from their reserve players. Head coach REDICK has been particularly impressed with how the entire Lakers bench unit has performed recently, singling out Hachimura and Jackson Hayes for their exceptional contributions. REDICK noted that Hachimura appears to have rediscovered his rhythm after struggling somewhat earlier in the season. The coach acknowledged that Hachimura went through a difficult stretch before suffering an injury, admitting that he directly communicated this assessment to the player. Following the injury and his return to action, Hachimura needed time to regain his timing and confidence. However, the last several games have shown clear evidence that he has recovered that form, performing at the level he displayed at the beginning of the season. REDICK also highlighted Hachimura's defensive engagement as a particularly positive development. Against Dallas and Chicago, Hachimura demonstrated strong defensive awareness and effort, especially when playing as the low man in the team's defensive schemes. This defensive commitment represents an important complement to his offensive contributions, making him a more complete and valuable player for the Lakers. When role players can impact winning on both ends of the floor, it significantly enhances their value to championship contending teams. The Lakers coach offered interesting perspective on how players should view changes in their roles. REDICK encouraged Hachimura to simply focus on being a basketball player, noting that whether someone starts or comes off the bench ultimately matters little when evaluating careers or seasons. What truly counts is the quality of play and contribution to team success. REDICK emphasized that HACHIMURA qualifies as a good basketball player regardless of his role designation. The coach expressed satisfaction with HACHIMURA's mindset regarding the situation, having been shown the player's comments to reporters about embracing the bench role. Looking ahead, HACHIMURA faces additional motivation as he enters the final year of his contract with the Lakers. This contract status creates natural incentive for strong performance during the second half of the season. Whether HACHIMURA ultimately signs a long-term extension with Los Angeles or explores opportunities with other franchises in free agency, consistent production and professionalism will enhance his market value and options. LeBron James finds himself at a fascinating crossroads as the current NBA season progresses. The legendary forward is completing his 8th consecutive year with the Los Angeles Lakers, representing the longest continuous tenure he has experienced with any single franchise during his illustrious career. However, when this season concludes, James will become an unrestricted free agent, creating uncertainty about whether he will return to Los Angeles, retire from professional basketball, or potentially pursue opportunities with another organization. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, one franchise stands ready to welcome the superstar back with open arms, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers organization would gladly bring James back for a third stint with the franchise if he chooses to continue his playing career into a record 24th NBA season, multiple team and league sources confirmed to ESPN. This potential homecoming carries significant emotional and historical weight as Cleveland represents where James began his professional journey and where he achieved one of the greatest accomplishments of his career. The Cavaliers drafted James with the first overall pick in 2003, launching one of the most remarkable careers in basketball history. He has spent 11 seasons across 2 separate stints wearing the wine and gold, bringing the franchise its only NBA championship in 2016 with a historic comeback victory over the Golden State Warriors. Several factors would influence any potential decision by James to return to Cleveland. First and foremost, the 40-year-old must determine whether he wants to extend his playing career beyond this season. Despite his age, James continues demonstrating that he possesses plenty of ability remaining in his game. During the current campaign with the Lakers, he averages 22.4 points, 6.0 rebounds, and 6.7 assists per game, numbers that many younger players would envy. His performance level suggests that physical capability should not prevent him from playing another season if he desires. Beyond physical considerations, relationship dynamics could factor into James's thinking. Recent reports have raised questions about his relationship with Lakers Governor Jeannie Buss, suggesting that potential friction might exist between the franchise icon and team ownership. While both parties have publicly maintained professional respect for one another, these rumors have prompted speculation about whether James might prefer a fresh start elsewhere if he continues playing. Should such concerns prove legitimate, Cleveland could represent an appealing alternative that allows James to finish his career in his home state while potentially contending for another championship. From Cleveland's perspective, adding James could provide the missing piece needed to elevate the franchise back to championship contention. The Cavaliers won an impressive 64 games during the previous season, establishing themselves among the Eastern Conference elite. However, this current season has brought disappointment as the team has struggled to maintain that level of success and faces questions about whether they possess the necessary talent to compete for NBA titles. Adding a player of James's caliber, even at his advanced age, could potentially transform their championship prospects by providing veteran leadership, playoff experience, and clutch performance capabilities that younger rosters often lack. James's legacy with the Lakers must be acknowledged as genuinely successful despite some challenging moments. When he joined Los Angeles in 2018, the franchise was experiencing the worst period in its storied history, having missed the playoffs for 5 consecutive seasons following the retirement of Kobe Bryant. James helped restore the Lakers to prominence, leading them to an NBA championship in 2020 during the challenging bubble environment created by the pandemic. That accomplishment alone validates his tenure in Los Angeles and cements his place in Lakers history alongside the franchise's other legendary players. However, the opportunity to conclude his career where it began holds romantic appeal that transcends basketball considerations. James grew up in Akron, Ohio, just 40 miles from Cleveland, making the Cavaliers truly his hometown team. Returning to finish his career in Ohio would provide narrative symmetry that few athletes achieve. The prospect of riding off into the sunset while wearing the uniform of his home state carries emotional resonance that money and championships cannot necessarily replicate. The Cavaliers organization clearly understands this dynamic and appears prepared to make room for James if he expresses interest in returning. Their willingness to welcome him back demonstrates the mutual respect and affection that exists between the player and franchise despite his previous departures to Miami and Los Angeles. For Cleveland, James remains their greatest player in franchise history, the man who delivered the championship that the city desperately craved for over 5 decades of professional sports futility. James currently focuses on leading the Lakers through their current season rather than contemplating future decisions. Following recent strong performances during a road trip, the superstar expressed hope that his team is building positive momentum that could carry them through the remainder of the schedule and into playoff contention. This present-focused mindset makes sense for a competitor of James's caliber, as speculation about next season could prove distracting to current responsibilities and teammates.